SiriusXM is where moments happen, and you'll find them here 24/7. In music, talk, sports, comedy, and news. Live and on demand. And they're on in your car, online, or on the app so you won't miss a thing. Visit SiriusXM.ca/never miss a beat. Hey guys, what's going on? Ben Wu here, host for CMA Connected. Final episode of the week. It's already Friday, TGIF, but we're going to end the week on a strong note. We had really cool episodes early on the week. Hopefully you got a chance to catch those episodes. But today our focus shifts from audio and from retailers to what I call an emerging market, really. We've covered it quite a few times. We had an entire episode of CMA Live dedicated to this, and that is lighting. When it comes to the lighting category, we have some great options available to us here in Canada, really manufacturers from across the country. Today's guest is based in Quebec. They are a brand of the master distributor known as T-Bear, but it's a very unique story, and we get to go one-on-one and dive in about Car Lighting District. These guys make some really cool offerings, especially in the LED technology side of things. And today we have their certified technician who actually we met back in our live episode. His name is Frank Gaudreault, and I'm going to get him on with us right now. Welcome to CMA Live, Mr. Frank.
Thanks, Ben. Glad to be here. Thank you very much.
It is Friday today, and I know you guys in Quebec are certainly have some challenges with the current situation and everything. But the good thing is, you know what? Business needs to continue, and customers need to be served, don't they?
Absolutely. Even the fact that certain restrictions are going on, our business is ongoing as usual, and we're always open.
That's an important message. So, for your dealers out there, don't worry. The team at CLD, they've got your back. You order. Your orders are coming through. So first, I want to commend you, Frank, on a wicked-looking studio display. That well done. You got a nice background, and I think we're going to talk about that display unit in a bit. But let's just get right into it. It's lunch hour for a lot of people, and if you're joining us at a later time from West Coast, welcome again. We're talking about Car Lighting District. Let's just jump right into it. You guys specialize in LED lighting. Did I get that right, or is there more to it than that?
No, you got that right. Car Lighting District specializes in and fabricates only LED conversion kits and LED replacement bulbs for any motorized vehicle with a 12 to 24 DC electrical system.
Wow, that is very specific. And when you mention motorized vehicle, I presume that you're also making applications for like power sports applications?
Everything. We're not solely making conversion kits and replacement bulbs for cars and trucks. It works for ATVs, side-by-side, commercial big rigs, even Tonka trucks, things like that you see in construction, snowmobiles, snow plows. I mean, anything. Snow plows is actually a really interesting application because it really makes the whole fun of going outside at night, plowing your driveway, much more enjoyable when you see the whole driveway when you're doing it,
No kidding. And most of the time, especially in the professional commercial category, these guys are out there, in early morning, or is it late at night? Yeah. It's dark. And in any case, it's dark.
It works for both. It works for personal and commercial, but I was talking about personal, actually.
Oh, even personal? Like your own snowblower at home?
Yes, definitely. If I had people do that. Yep. Oh, yeah.
That's super cool. Yep. I guess the best way we could set the stage for this conversation in this lunch hour is maybe talk a little bit about the segment that is aftermarket lighting. And then we'll go from there and we'll kind of jump right into where CLD's role is and what you guys offer to that segment. There's no question in my mind that the lighting category not only has it changed so much, because, there was that whole hyper white thing and then the whole xenon thing, and everything's kind of just converged into LED. Lighting as a segment for the retailer, I think, is a big deal right now. I'd like to hear what you have to say about that.
I tend to agree. I definitely agree. And the fact is, the more and more manufacturers are bringing their vehicles out on the market with OEM LED headlights. Now, I think that actually has a big impact in the aftermarket market for this application because, vehicles, right, are coming out and people are buying new vehicles, but There's also a very big market of used vehicles being bought still. I mean, not everybody could buy a brand new vehicle. So people want to upgrade their older vehicle to match today's vehicles, right? I mean, they want to have that look on their older vehicle, but it's not only looks, it's also the fact that they can't see, all right? Newer vehicles with the higher powered lighting, it affects other drivers on the road. When you have a halogen bulb, you can't necessarily see as well as you did 20 years ago when every car had halogen bulbs and there was less light on the planet as well. Ambient lighting also plays an effect when we see at night. So, I mean, aftermarket lighting is definitely something retailers want to have in stock and look into, because more and more people need to convert their lighting to see where they're going.
So, here's the big question, and I think it's also a shift in the way this category has been available to consumers. Previously, let's rewind 20 years ago, if you needed to change your light bulb, really, you weren't looking at upgrading. You were just looking at replacing your light bulb, or else you might get a ticket. Exactly. Then fast forward to like the 90s, 2000s, where all of a sudden these hyper white bulbs and everything came out. Now it was about, I want to look different. I want to be unique. I want to enhance maybe the performance. But there was so much, what's the word I'm looking for? The law came into play, because people were selling bulbs that were so darn bright. I mean, you could literally blind somebody if they were walking too close. And then what's happened recently with the LED, and where I'm going with this, Frank, is the consumer originally would go to something like a Canadian Tire or something to buy a light bulb, but now in today's market we have specialized retailers, right, that are out there that specialize in 12-volt electronics, and that's who we're speaking to. And these are shops where the customer comes in knowing that this shop is going to take care of my vehicle, whether I need a sound upgrade, a security, some sound dampening, and lighting. Like, if you don't have lighting as an option, at least in the display, and we're going to get to that in a second, you can't. Well, this is just Ben Wu, personal opinion. It's going to be challenging to sell if you don't have it on display. So I'd like to know what CLD's take is on that, as far as display and how to sell this through from a retailer standpoint.
All right. Well, getting back to what you said earlier, I mean, if you're an electronic 12-volt aftermarket retailer, shop, whatever, you definitely want to have lighting in your selection, in your offered products. I mean, it's just to complete the whole selection. I mean, lighting is an electrical component of your vehicle. If you're offering audio upgrades, security upgrades, all this is electronics, you're just gonna have to complete your whole selection and add the lighting as well. And in terms of actually offering this to your clients, I mean, yes, we do have our very nice display here we have in the back available for anybody who has an account with our distributor, our exclusive distributor, Bear. And also, I mean, customers also see us online on our websites, on Facebook ads, Instagram. So a lot of people just will show up to your shop and already have heard of us, and they will ask you about Car Lighting District. I've heard a lot of installers calling us saying they had customers mentioning our name and they didn't really know about us, and that's where they called me up and gathered information.
And you touched on a very important point. You guys do an absolute tremendous job when it comes to the promotion and marketing of the brand and the products that you sell. So definitely kudos to that. And you're right. Awareness is a big part of it. We're doing podcasts like this, and you're doing what you're doing on your end. But you guys who own the shops who are tuning into this, lighting. I can't tell you enough how much feedback we've had on lighting, and this is why this was important to start a series on getting the lighting manufacturers out here to show you what's available. So speaking of what's available, the big question that we get asked a lot, Frank, is the cost of upgrading to LED headlights even worth it compared to sticking with the regular halogens? Now, we're not talking about performance. We're talking about that consumer that you want to sell that maybe not be interested in the performance, but is the cost worth upgrading?
All right. Well, definitely. I mean, it's obvious LED conversion kits are going to be more expensive than a regular halogen bulb, right? There's more electronics component included in the whole fabrication. It's just a more costly product to fabricate than a regular halogen bulb. So you got to think of it this way. Okay. First of all, if you're planning on keeping your vehicle for many, many years, unfortunately, it really depends on the type of person you are. I mean, I personally keep my cars forever, but I mean, if you're looking to keep your car for a very long time, an LED conversion kit from Car Lighting District is definitely a good option because it features a lifetime warranty. Now, hold on. I mean, the Helios conversion kits that we offer, the Kong conversion kits that we offer, these offer a lifetime warranty. We also have a more entry-level conversion kit that's much cheaper in price, but also reflects this with a diminished warranty of 2 years. I'll get to that one after. But if you're looking to keep your car for many, many years to come, you're definitely going to benefit from just the fact that you have a warranty. So, I mean, like I said earlier, more electronic components. Unfortunately, I mean, we really have a very great defective rate. We're really happy, but things like anything don't always last forever. But you got peace of mind when you purchase one conversion kit from Car Lighting District. You know we'll take care of it if anything happens, and it's really easy. You call us at Car Lighting District, we take care of it over the phone. It's really hassle-free for the end user if you bought online. If not, if you bought in the retailers, the retailer needs to take care of the warranty as well, but we'll take care of it with Taber. It's very quick for the shipping and all that. In terms of actual costs, I mean, you're looking at maybe, I don't know, depending on the conversion kit, you're looking for either twice to maybe 3 or 4 times the cost of a halogen bulb, but you're going to have peace of mind for years to come.
So from, I guess it's one of those, looking at it from the long-term perspective, and that's a very interesting point you bring up. So just to clarify, the higher end series, what are the 2 series that you say feature the lifetime warranty?
Our Helios, our best-selling Helios conversion kit, and our Kong conversion kits. These 2 conversion kits have that lifetime warranty.
So let me just be straight. When you say lifetime warranty, because lifetime warranty is a big word, all right, and I've heard it a lot. If I'm driving and my bulb no longer has light, and I troubleshoot it, there's nothing coming out. I'll go back to my retailer and say, "Hey, buddy, my light don't work."
Mm-hmm.
And because it's a CLD kit and it happens to be a Helios or a Kong, they'll be like, "No problem, sir. We'll get that replaced for you." I need to understand this.
Yes and no.
Okay.
A lot of times, this is a good question. A lot of times, customers, end users, even installers will believe something is defective. But really, after just a quick talk, we just chat on the phone and we get to work after. It's really sometimes just a really small thing that just over time, maybe a connection issue, a little really, it could be just that. And a lot of times people don't even think of looking at this. They install the kit or they got it installed and, something happens over time. I mean, they hit a bump, the connection just wiggles out a bit. And then they're like, oh, my headlight's no longer working. What do I do? It's defective. I tell them to follow certain procedures. And then we get to the point where, oh, everything works now. Thank you very much.
And does that happen a lot?
It does. It does. It's really, it's funny. It's maybe 25% of my calls.
Really? Okay, fair enough. We're not going to stay on that forever, but you've answered the question about the value and how to sell that through to a customer as far as using that as a key selling point, the longevity aspect. So what exactly is your market then? Is it, you talked about all types of vehicles. What are your best sellers? Like if I was looking from 5,000 feet, what makes up the majority of your CLD sales right now?
Well, that's a great question. And what's really cool about lighting the different light bulbs that have available on the market for different vehicles, there's not that many SKUs. There's not that many different light bulbs, all right? The most popular light bulb there is on the market right now is an H11. And this is what we have right here in front of us. We have 3 H11 conversion kits. An H11 conversion kit also works for 4 different types of applications. It works for H8, H9, H11, and H16 JP. We've fabricated these kits to work for these 4 applications. So it enabled us to basically reduce 4 times the amount of inventory for these 4 applications, right? Same thing for 9005. Our 9005 kits work for 5 and 6, actually more than that, 9140, 9145. I could go on. I could go on for a long time. So we have these conversion kits that work for more than one application. So that really diminishes inventory costs, inventory levels, and it just makes everything more simple. There's really not that many different bulbs on the market that are popular. What you want to have, the biggest applications is H11, 9005, H7.
It kind of sounds like there's 2 main categories that cover a majority of the need and the requirement out there, which is great, because from an inventory standpoint, one thing that I was worried about is, if I was going to get into lighting seriously, how many different SKUs do I need to, have in stock to be effective? It sounds like it's not tremendous, it's not overwhelming.
It really isn't. It really isn't. You could have the same conversion kit can work for thousands of vehicles.
Wow. Okay. Here's a question that comes in often: safety. I in the beginning of our episode, we talked about, those hyper whites and all these crazy lights that were available. Is there a safety element to LEDs? Are they even safe to upgrade from a vehicle standpoint? Are they too bright? Are they too obnoxious? Will they piss people off? Will I get a ticket?
Great questions. Great questions. I have a lot to say, and it's a huge topic online. Definitely, people are always trying to bash companies like ours and say we're these people who bring these bright lights on the road and we create these unsafe driving conditions and whatnot. That's all false information. I want to reassure everybody who's listening, an LED conversion kit is a safe upgrade when properly done. Okay, keep that in mind. You could have an LED conversion kit installed in the right headlight with the right conversion kit in the right headlight, and you're going to have the same cutoff as the OEM halogen bulb, but just a white light and maybe twice, 3 or 4 times more of it. But you're going to have that same proper cutoff. You're going to shine less in the eyes of the oncoming driver. You're going to shine more on the right side, on near the ditch. Exactly how your headlights are fabricated to shine like. But if you're using the wrong kit in the wrong vehicle, beware. I mean, things could happen. You're gonna get high beam. People are gonna be pissed off. People are really gonna think you're gonna be that unsafe driver on the road. Unfortunately, that may be true because you're using the wrong equipment in the wrong vehicle.
So application is critical to make sure that you have the right part for the right application, or else you're not going to get the results you're supposed to get.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm just going to take a break here because we got Conrad Leduc, who's asked a question here up from Sudbury Car Audio. Conrad's asked, do you have H7 solutions in regards to bulb retention clips or installation brackets?
Absolutely. Great question. We let's talk a bit about the H7 bulbs. The H7 bulbs is a special type of application in the sense that there's 2 main ways of holding or securing an H7 bulb inside a headlight. Number 1, it's the metal retaining locking spring or pin, whatever you want to call it. That application doesn't require a bracket or an adapter. It's really just you insert the bulb, you have a locking pin, and there you go. You're on your way. That's the best case scenario. Honestly, in H7 world, that's the best case scenario. Then you got the cars that use special H7 bulb adapters. I've done a count. I've done research. There's maybe 40 different bulb adapters on the market, and manufacturers love to create the same vehicle of the same year and change that bulb adapter. So that really, number 1 is job creation for us, because then this H7 is probably one of the most asked questions we have. It's because the bulb adapters. So we have available the 6 most popular and the most seen bulb adapters on the market. We have, I won't name the SKUs, but we have them on the website. They're all listed accordingly. There are cases where a customer or an installer will come up to us and then say, hey, listen, the bulb adapter on the website doesn't work. What do I do? I always ask for pictures. I ask to, just send us some kind of visual reference so we could see what they're looking at. And then most cases, either they're not installing it properly, or other cases, unfortunately, we just don't hold that adapter. Some of them are very rarely seen. So to answer Conrad's question, we have maybe 90% of all adapters that you will see on vehicles. And then there'll be a small percentage of adapters that we don't hold, or that we do have in very small quantities. And if possible, we could always manage to send them out to you to finalize the installation.
Oh, Conrad, I hope you're happy with that answer. Well done, Mr. Frank. And I think that question kind of segues me into this other question that's kind of not bugging me, but very curious about how complicated is it to install these LED conversion kits? Because there's some that are really easy. I can imagine, and there's others that in my mind, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, could be quite complex. How experienced of a installer do you need on staff to be able to provide these installation services for LED conversion kits?
Great question. Great question. This is, it depends on two factors, I would say. Number one, it's vehicle and manufacturer dependent on the actual difficulty of accessing the bulbs on the car. All right. To explain a bit more into details what I mean. Certain vehicles you'll need, it's not a car lighting district fault. It's not anybody's fault in terms of aftermarket products. It's really the manufacturer's design. You have to remove the front grille. I'm referring to an F-150 of 2050. Most F-150s actually of all years. You have to remove the front grille. You have to remove both headlights on each side. When you know exactly step by step and you're not wasting time, it takes about a 2-hour job. And if you don't have the tools at home, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do that yourself. But if you have a Honda Civic, of almost every year, the light bulb is right there. You open the hood, you see it right there. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. If you change the light bulb in your house, same thing in your car. So it depends on the vehicle. Most vehicles, I would say, are like the ones like I just mentioned, like the Honda Civic. You'll have access to the bulbs without too many difficulties. But there's other vehicles that are just fabricated in a way so that, you got to go to the dealer to actually get access to the bulbs. People got to eat.
No, and you know what? That's kind of like a two-pronged question, because, if you're a dealer and you want to sell LED lighting, there are opportunities, like you had mentioned to your point about the F-150, which is a very, very popular vehicle that comes through the shop, that require a 2-hour install. So keep that in mind when you're starting to calculate the profitability and the potential for business or additional business, if you're not doing lighting yet, of selling the customer a CLD conversion kit, F-150. Now you got to book the customer. Now it's 2 hours of an install. That's business, right?
Definitely.
And there's great opportunities there. Are there any things that you want to avoid or just be aware of when you're looking at converting LEDs that you've seen come by?
In terms of avoiding, I think that kind of gets to what I was saying earlier. If you want to have a good conversion and be safe at the same time, you want to avoid using the wrong product in the wrong headlight. That's number one. We're not trying to create kits to shine into the next galaxy here. We're trying to offer products that will enhance your visibility and as well as other drivers on the road to see that you're coming. We're not trying to create any dangerous situations. So it's important that you kind of follow the listing on the website. I've often seen people, think they know what they're doing, and they're going to take the Helios bulb and they're going to go put this in their fog lights. Sure, you're going to shine very far ahead, but you're not going to have the bulb in your fog lights for very long due to the fact that there are moving parts. There's moving parts on the bulb. So, if you install this in your fog lights and you go off-roading, well, there goes your bulbs. Your fan's not going to turn, and in return, your bulb is going to overheat, and that unfortunately is called misuse. It's not going to go under warranty. So you want to, ask questions first of all. But if you're not the type of person to call anybody, just follow the website. The website has everything listing accordingly.
Yeah, and you see it clicking down here. If you're looking for car lighting district products, contact your regional Tiber sales representative or visit the website, cldled.com. Or you know what? Call Frank, because he loves talking to people. He has so much time every day to answer every single one of your questions. Now, Frank, let's the last bit of the show, I think you've done a great job kind of prepping us and making us understand, everything that involves selling LED. Let's talk about your specific product real quick. I'm a shop. You got me. I'm interested. What are the 2-3 products that I need to buy right now from you?
All right. Number one, it's you kind of have to know a little bit. If you want to stock product and you want to make sure you're not buying the wrong ones, you kind of have to figure a bit your clientele. If you're gonna have a lot of F-150s come through, a lot of big trucks, a lot of these. The F-150s all have the same type of headlight. So, it's easy. You're not going to necessarily need the Helios, the orange bulb for these F-150s. You're going to want to have the Kong. Kong is for reflector headlights. The Helios is better suited for projector headlights.
Oh, okay. That's the designation. So projector versus reflector.
Reflector.
Okay.
Exactly. So if you want to stock a product for, just to be ready to make sales when customers come in your store, that's the thing. You kind of have to know ahead of time if you're going to have reflectors or projectors or fog lights. Kong, by the way, is reflector and fog lights. So if you have the 9005 Kong conversion kit, well, you're gonna knock away many different vehicles all in one. You're gonna have to have the high beam for F-150. You're gonna have the lower high beam for certain Rams. You're gonna have the fog lights for both of these trucks, I just said. So one kit works for a lot of applications that are very popular right now. So if you want a stock product and you want to have things ready, 9005, H11, decoders, resistors. And that's very important as well. You want to have decoders on hand because you're going to need them. It's just the way the cars are fabricated and the LED conversion kits are fabricated. Certain vehicles require these plug and play attachments to prevent issues. So if you want to finalize the installation in one shot, you definitely have to have all the components required. Decoders are part of it.
And again, all this information is available through your website and through your technical support, of course. Do you have a box of the Helios and the Kong with you just to show what the packaging looks like? And
Of course. Well, both of the Kong and Helios are packaged in the same box like this.
Okay.
And you got the rear end here with product specifications. You got the part number, SKU. And then when you open the box, you have a beautiful padding and packaging here.
Yeah, and I really just want to show the folks, what type of size as far as inventory goes. This is not a giant sub box. You could fit a lot of these on your shelf. Yeah,
exactly. Just to talk a bit more about that, it's a high profit item, small in size. So you got to have a lot on your shelf and have a lot of products that are going to bring you a lot of profit.
And this is one of those items I would imagine, Frank, that there are going to be those do-it-yourselfers that might just want to pick them up and install them themselves at home. And so it's like a take and go kind of item as well, especially like those easier applications that you were mentioning. But okay, so again, guys, Car Lighting District products, Canadian brand, distributed exclusively through Tiber. If you want more information, and talking about distribution, how's your West Coast distribution? I know you guys are pretty darn solid, obviously, in the East Coast. How's your West Coast distribution for our West Coast listeners?
We're actually all across North America. We have very speedy delivery times across Canada and in the United States. There's absolutely nothing to worry about in terms of delivery. We have warehouses for Canada across the country. We have one in the States, in New York. So, we're ready to ship.
So if I'm in BC and I make an order, what is that, 2 days?
Definitely. I think it's actually, it could even be 1 day.
1 day. Interesting. Okay, so there you have it, guys. If you're tuning in and you're out on the West Coast, consider CLD as an option when it comes to your high-performance LED lighting conversion supplier. What does the future hold, Frank? Where are we going from here with CLD?
Well, I have that's a great question.
I'm known to have good questions, right?
We're working very, very hard to optimize the company in order to offer just next to perfect lighting for every vehicle. Right now we're almost there. We're very close, but we're not perfect. We still have vehicles that are just giving us not the result we want to have. We're not every headlight is built the same. This is something you really need to understand. A Kong conversion kit installed in an F-150 is amazing. You could have the Kong conversion kit installed in the wrong vehicle and it shines not as good. And you're like, well, your first reaction is like, okay, well, this sucks. But no, you're wrong. It's not that. It really is. It depends. You got to have the right conversion kit in the right vehicle. So this is what we're aiming for. We're aiming to have just the same result in all vehicles.
Very good. And I imagine that's a lot of research and development and a lot of man hours involved in troubleshooting all that type of stuff. So I can just picture you, with a slew of different vehicles that you just got to go through one at a time and literally go through the whole install and take notes.
It's a lot of fun. I love doing this.
Right. That's awesome. Last but not least, we're at the bottom of our hour, but I want to give you every opportunity to tell the folks, because you guys do a tremendous job, like I said earlier, every social media. Where do people go to find information or check out your videos?
YouTube, that's number one. We have a lot of capsules coming out. I think it's actually weekly nowadays. Yes, weekly. Thanks, Felix. Of me just showing different topics on the subject. Facebook, Instagram, we have a lot of posts, a lot of ads going on. I mean, almost constantly. The website has a development in terms of how to install. We're shortly adding different videos and different installation steps. And if not, we're always open 9 to 5 weekdays on the line on the phone. If not, Facebook, Instagram, messages, and email. Ask us any questions. It'll be our pleasure to assist you.
And of course, CMA, we will make sure any updates you have, we of course will publish to make sure you guys are connected with that. Hey, Frank, thanks so much for joining us today and letting us in on a little bit of what's going on at Car Lighting District. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you very shortly.
Well, thank you very much, Ben. It was a pleasure to be on here with you.
Take care, guys.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, so there you have it, guys. Another cool lunch hour learning session. CMA connected with Car Lighting District, or our guest, Frank Gaudreault, who's the certified technician there. You're interested in lighting, look into it. We're going to be covering lighting for sure. It is an important segment that deserves your attention as a dealer. Great profit margins, opportunities for installs. It just rounds out your offering. And some of the shop spotlights features that we've done, such as the certified radio one that we just did, along with even lockdown security, everybody's selling lighting, man. So make sure you're looking into that. Oh, I want to wrap it up. I want everybody to have a great weekend. Stay safe. We've got an awesome one on Monday coming to you. Sounds good out of BC. Our friend Keith McCumber over there, he's going to give us a full-out tour of his shop, and I'm really excited to show you guys that. So on that note, you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in to CMA Connected. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.